Alright, so you've already taken some notes. So we need some sort of straight edge at this point. I got my trusty ruler here. And I'm going to go ahead and try to make a line that goes nearly all the way across my sketchbook. And I'm not going to go too tall or too far apart on these two lines. The taller you go, the more shading you have to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle of that box I made, and I'm just going to eyeballing it, and then I'm going to find the middle between that mark and that corner. I'm just going to keep doing that, finding the middle between every two lines. So if I do it right, I should have 8 sections. And I'm going to go ahead and use a straight edge to turn them into rectangles. And so this is going to lay me out 8 boxes of a value scale, which I'm going to label 0 through 7 because 0 is actually going to be my white value. So I'm not going to add any shading to that. And so that's why I designated it as 0 instead of a 1. And so I'll count it out from 0 to 7. Now, I do nothing in 0, but in 7, I want to shade it in as dark as I possibly can. And so every pencil varies in how dark it can go, so just go as dark as the pencil you have will let you go. Now, I will say, those of you that like to use mechanical pencils, those sometimes have some problems when it comes to doing things like this, which is shading. It can be done, but it just takes a lot longer because you can't use a broad stroke using the side of the lead, the graphite. But if you're really set on it, it can be done. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to find what I think is the middle value. Now I could do it in 3 or 4. I picked 3. Now it'd be better to go a little bit too light than too dark when I do this, so I'm going to get a good medium value in here, and then once I get it there, then I need to assess. I need to take a look and see if I really believe that that's halfway as dark as step 7. If not, I'm going to keep adding to it little by little until I feel like I've gotten to where it needs to be. Now I'm going to speed this up a little bit just so that the video doesn't go as long, but realize this does take a while. Now number 1 should be a fairly easy value to do because I know how dark to go. It just needs to be the tiniest bit of darkness. But the hard part is going that light, and so just really push yourself to be as light as possible. And then go a little bit darker, a little bit darker. Now it's nice to have that stop at 4 where I'll know that it needs to be no darker than that. And if I go a little bit too dark on number 3, then I can go ahead and darken number 4 a little bit more. Now number 6 should be a fairly easy one to judge how dark to go as well, because it should be almost as dark as number 7. So like take it to just almost right at the edge of it being 7. Now I don't feel like I did that here, but I'll find that out in a moment. And so when I find out that 4 and 5 are looking the same, then I need to go darker with number 5, which means 6 needs to be darker than 5, so I'll darken that up. Alright, so it seems kind of like this is all looking pretty decent, so I think we can call it done. Alright, time for the next step.